Titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. And about 14 months ago, my brain coach, Michael Lavery, said, Nathan, you got to look into flat Earth. And then the more I researched it, and then I found out that it's actually the biblical cosmology is a geocentric cosmology. Then I realized why they're hiding the truth. It's because they don't want anyone to know anything. They want people dumb, blind, deaf to the truth, so they can inject you with their vaccines and their public schooling and this heliocentric model, which is basically forced sun worship. Did you know they made up dinosaurs? People in the school system to perpetuate this 6 billion year old Earth. Oh, wait, the math doesn't work out. 14 billion year old Earth.
So I actually ran into a NASA employee at Starbucks, asked him why NASA means deceive in Hebrew. Technically, it's the word nashah, but it sounds so similar.
You hate Americans? Is that it?
Excuse me?
Yeah.
How the hell did you get that?
Well, I just got kicked out of Starbucks for asking NASA employee questions. I ended up getting kicked out of a bunch of Facebook groups, so then I started the group, the official Flat Earth and Globe discussion. It was slow start at first. I just added all my friends and said, hey, talk about flat Earth. There's no cursing, no insults. That was about 14 months ago, and that's blossomed into 53,000 members. Excuse me, can I ask you a question? Anyone ever told you the Earth is flat? What? I just feel like I have an obligation to tell people you don't live on a spinning ball. I've been telling them for years you didn't come from monkeys. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I run the largest flat Earth group in the world. We're actually filming a documentary about it, so that's how it's done right there. You want to hear some flat Earth music? Next level, ice cold, flat Earth model on my bezel. We got some good books right here. Firmament, Vaulted Dome of the Earth. George Orwell, 1984, must read. This is Edward Hendry's masterpiece, The Greatest Lie on Earth. I'll just read you a little bit from the table of contents real quick. The first chapter is Samuel Rowbotham proved the Earth is flat. The idea people have of flat earthers is totally wrong. You know, they think they're total idiots and they live in their mom's basement and they believe everything anyone tells them. It's quite the opposite. We test everything. We're all either super successful or doing our own thing. And I've met hundreds of flat earthers and none of them are living in their mom's basement, so.
There are millions of flat earthers. It's a fantastic community. Look what flat earth has inspired. So I was the first one to do a flat earth license plate. And then just a slew of them. Everybody started coming in with them. They started changing up the words. It's flat to flat earth, NASA lies, all that fun stuff. There's Arizona, Arkansas, California. Probably trying to figure that one out yourself, aren't you? I'll give you 10 seconds. Ready?
It's flat inside each other.
Perfect. Wow, you're really good. Personalized license plates are not supposed to be negative. But when you look at NASA lies, what do you read? Nasal eyes. Could be a freaking a nose and throat doctor. You don't know. A lot of people realize that if you're a flat earther, you can only date flat earthers once you get into it, because it's too much of a paradigm shift. So there's now flat earth dating sites popping up. Ever since the whole flat earth thing started, I start getting merchandise in the mail. Flat earth paddleball thing with a globe at the end. It's a clever idea, you know, metaphorically. Have you seen this kitty? His name is Research Flat Earth, and like the curvature of the false globe model, he is missing. Every once in a while, someone will send me a book. It is not light reading. A flat earth watch. I mean, seriously, flat earth can be put on anything. This is a giant version of the license plate of my car. Flat earth clock. And of course, this thing right here. That's what makes this community different. Because with every other conspiracy, I'm not going to rattle them off, there's always this dark, sinister, evil, people feel bad about it. This thing really makes people, gives people a lot of positive energy, so much enthusiasm, matter of fact, that they make things. They make, I mean, we've got songs.
So we did a little research, and we learned about curvature.
When's the last time somebody made a happy folk song about 9/11?
who plays for the Cavaliers, he recently said that he believes the world is flat. Is that a subject that you covered with him? Are you aware of that?
I wouldn't even know how to broach that topic.
Hey, AJ, do you want to talk about how you think the Earth is flat?
I do not think the world is flat. I'm just saying there's some stuff about it.
How do people actually believe the Earth is flat? I'm stumped, Kelly. I don't know how people believe that.
Round Earth or flat Earth?
Yeah.
Round Earth.
Oh, okay. You just drew a divide between us.
What is happening?
Actually, no. Shaq goes the other way. Not debatable. It's flat. Kyrie, flat. Draymond, flat. What is going on in the world?
I often like to say that if you gave me 5 or 10 minutes with you, I can probably tease out some belief you have that your friends would think that that's a little bit strange. We tend to form the beliefs based on a couple things. One is our intuitions, just what feels right. Another is our subjective experience. For most of us who look out on the horizon, indeed, it looks flat.
That seems like a reasonable thing. And so you ask, okay, well, why are we saying that the Earth's round? If you don't have someone who's going to give you a satisfying answer, you might well then try to find alternatives.
It's what you can observe. You don't need complicated math formulas to figure out where you live. But the powers that should not be have told us so. And trust us, believe us. And we have. I did. We all did.
Something that you see a lot in science is imposter syndrome, which is a phenomenon where the more you know about a topic, the more you feel like you aren't actually an expert. You feel like you can't possibly be an authority on this. On the flip side, there's something called the Dunning-Kruger effect.
The Dunning-Kruger effect is a psychological finding that people who don't have knowledge or expertise about something tend to have a false confidence that they are, in fact, very knowledgeable about something.
It becomes this tendency to assume that you have all the facts, that what you know is everything that there is to know.
If you get online, you'll see pages and pages of so-called evidence that seems scientific, right? Here's an equation, here's a diagram, and you go, huh, you know, maybe they're onto something there. Then I feel like that's just as good as an opinion of a physicist or a consensus of, 20 physicists.
We've all been brainwashed by scientism, by those priests of a new religion.
Science is just the search for truth, right? Science is a way of thinking, starting at I don't know, then chipping away at the I don't know through evidence with no motive on where it takes you. And you come up with a new idea, and the first thing that's gonna happen is 10 people are gonna try to figure out why it's wrong. Okay, it's called institutional disconfirmation. So when you have conviction, it's really well earned. So to have a vendetta against that is a little odd.
Science should have wiped us out literally in the first month. And it's the exact opposite. We're not just winning, we're crushing them because they don't know how to address it. Because they're not convinced they can knock it out, they don't want to get into the ring. We've got questions out there which they can't answer.
How much time do you have to spend on every theory that is out there, right? And many times, the things that we are debating are not even theories, either because they're not falsifiable, or sometimes they've already been falsified.
Absolutely ludicrous what they're teaching. You can't feel any of the movement, and they think, well, we go faster than a bullet through space.
I'd say take physics. I mean, that's just fundamental. I mean, if you're driving in a car and I throw a ball up and you go, where's the ball gonna come down? It's gonna come down in my hand. Okay, it's not gonna fly through the back windshield of my car.
So are there any scientists that are in flat Earth?
No, and they can't be. Once you get to a certain level of education, the education system more or less owns you. You're not allowed to do certain things. I mean, think of a teacher. Teachers have to get master's degrees.
Yeah.
So think of a normal educator if they came out and said that. No matter where they were.
Have you had any educators come out?
No.
No.